A most promising energy solution today is to harness the kinetic power of the ocean waves and the flowing currents of sea or river. Many projects are underway and they claim to generate enough electrical energy for millions of homes without burning fossil fuels. These forces of nature are free, steady, and predictable. This video presents a new invention on various revolutionary fluid currents energy converter device by combining double-acting fluid pumping apparatuses and moving pontoon and racks to convert ocean waves or flowing currents into electricity. The two fundamental mechanical devices are the movable device and the fixed device. Double-acting piston pump. A piston is arranged to reciprocate as its piston rod is actuated by a float. When the float moves up as a rising wave passes, it pushes the piston upward and resulting dynamic flow of the fluid closes the left inlet by the ball and fluid pumped out through the center top outlet. At the same time, it causes fluid to flow through the right-hand inlet into the chamber. When the float moves down, it pulls the piston downward and partial vacuum generated at the left-hand inlet causes the top left ball to open and allow the fluid to flow in. At the same time, fluid pressure on the lower side of the piston becomes higher and it causes fluid to flow through the bottom channel into the right-hand chamber and pump out through the center top outlet. Based on the fundamental piston reciprocates working principle, many designs of energy converter can be configured. In this example, a submerged pump is operated to pump water to an elevated storage tank. Water from the storage tank is channeled to rotate a fluid motor or a turbine, which in turn rotates a generator to produce electricity. An air piston pump is disposed above the water level. The accumulator and flow control valve help to maintain a more constant airflow to drive a turbine and a generator. This design is integrated to operable both air and water piston pump. A T-shaped actuator bar is pivoted to the body of the pump such that when the float is pushed up and down by wave forces, the actuator bar oscillates about a pivot and, in turn, reciprocates the pistons. This actuator bar pump system uses the above single piston pump and a float pivoted to rise and fall with wave forces. Each pump body is configured to include two actuator T-bar piston pumps being arranged end-to-end with a sealed turbine disposed in between. The piston of two pumps is interconnected and is linked to a floating pontoon. Now a paddle is pivoted on the pontoon such that when the ocean undercurrents oscillate the paddle, it reciprocates two pistons to pump air and water in a double-acting manner. This design oscillates the actuator T-bar. On the top side of the rotary wheel, there is a crank pin or shaft that is located at a radius from the center of the rotary wheel. This piston rods of pumps are separatedly connected to the crankshaft through two link bars. The vertical rotary wheel has a plurality of peripheral aerofoil vanes and is partially submerged in a body of running water to catch the running currents and rotate. This design deploy in seabed. When water currents flow through the face of the pendulum member, a lifting force is generated and the pendulum member swings oscillate. This rotary wheel and piston pumps assembly is suspended from a boom on a mobile trailer. A plurality of one or more of the above piston pump configurations can be connected in a network. An ocean farm system comprises a number of network combinations of the above devices, be they the same, mixed, or different configurations being linked mechanically or electrically. This concept design is simple and unsophisticated, thus allowing us to harness huge unlimited renewable energy from our surrounding. If you can solve the power, you can solve almost anything. It has been estimated that ocean currents can meet 3,000 times the current power needs of the entire world's population. Waves energy alone can potentially produce 1/3 of the world's electricity supply. This video presents a new invention on various fluid current converters using a fundamental mechanical rack and rake wheel device to tap inexhaustible kinetic energy of ocean, river, and wind currents and convert it into electricity. The two fundamental mechanical devices are the movable device, double-acting rack, and the fixed device, rake wheel generator assembly. Each movable device is made up of a pair of movable parallel racks that are mounted in vertical, curved, horizontal, planar circular, and ring formation. Engaged with each set of the racks are one or more fixed wheel generator assemblies. As the two racks are moved in and upstroke by rising waves, the rake teeth on the left-hand rack turn the wheel in a clockwise direction, while the rake teeth on the right-hand rack are designed to slip on the pins of the drive wheel. Many designs of energy converter can be configured. When wave forces cause the float to move up and down, the racks turn the rake wheel in one direction, and a generator connected thereto is operated to generate electricity. This vertical rake design that is operable using wind current. Curved Rack's Ocean Wave cum wind converter system converts surface waves energy and wind energy into electricity. In this design, the double racks are horizontally constrained to slide laterally by waves in a left-right manner to drive a generator to produce electricity. Using horizontal single rack and double rake wheels driven by surface wave current are turned by lateral surface waves. This design uses double horizontal racks and a rake wheel to convert underwater current power into electricity. Both the lower and upper racks are linearly reciprocated. Ocean currents swirling around the aerofoil vanes cause forces to rotate the single planar circular rack in one direction to produce electricity. Currents swirling in any direction cause the lower and upper planar circular racks to rotate in reverse directions to each other. Wind and water current often occur together and advantageously drive the respective upper and lower vanes in opposite directions. The double ring racks are partially submerged in running currents and rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise direction depending on the time. From a high ground, ring rack flowing current converter system are mounted vertically from an overhead structure. A mobile ring rack's flowing current converter system is able to harness kinetic energy in strong flowing current in a river or sea without need to construct any generator power station. Several vertical racks ocean wave converter systems are spatially located on a platform to capture different phases of rising and falling waves. A huge ocean energy converter farm comprising a network combination of the above devices is possible. Ocean and wind currents often occur together, and advantageously both are renewable energy sources, based on the fundamental working principle and variations of the fixed and movable devices. Many designs of wind energy converter can be configured. This curved rack device is built on land and is operable solely by wind current. In this design, wind currents drive the upper vanes in one direction, whilst ocean currents drive the lower vanes in an opposite direction. This variation is built on land and is operable solely by wind current. Compared to ground wind, top wind currents, normally experienced above 200 meters above sea level, are strong and unobstructed. Harnessing huge unlimited renewable energy from ocean and wind currents can be a reality.